Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the basics of Adobe Premiere Pro and how we set up a project and get started when it comes to editing. Alright guys, so today we're going to be looking at the basics and how to get sort of set up and started on Premiere Pro. I'll just take you through the stuff that I do. I understand that it's probably different to what some other people might do, but I'll take you through the basics of what I do when I get set up on any project. So the first thing I do after I've started my new project, I've given it a title and I've come in. First thing I'll do is I'll come down here and I'll get a new bin. That's the first thing I'll do, and I'll title that Vision or Video or whatever you like. That's where all the raw video files will go, and it just helps me keep everything organized. Then I do one for audio, another one for music if you're going to have music in your video, then I'll do another one. Then I'll do another one for logo or text. Usually put them in the same one. And the most important one is sequences, because you want to keep all your sequences sort of separated so you can find them later on if you're going back. So that's the first thing we do. We get all those bins sorted. Now we want to add our content, our raw files, into the corresponding folder. So what I'll do just today is I'll just add one of my podcast episode video files into the Vision folder. So I've added all my files into the corresponding folder. So now the next thing I do is I go into the sequences folder, click this little button down here, and we start a new sequence. So we're going to call it podcast episode. You can always change the title later, so it doesn't really matter. And what we do now is we want to change the sequence settings, because it gives you a sort of a default setting that most people don't really want. Okay, so what I do is I change this to 1920 by 1080. Obviously that's HD. It'll give me and that's where you change it to whatever you want, whatever format you want. So I want HD. So now my sequence has given us this little timeline to start putting the project together. We'll come back and we'll double click on the video file here. This is footage from my podcast. And we'll just use this to give you a bit of an example of how I cut the footage in. Okay. So say this is your video. I want to cut it from this bit through to this bit. So to cut in on your keyboard, it's the letter I for in, and to cut out, the letter O for out. Pretty simple. Now if you want to drag just the video, you don't want the audio from that, you grab the little video icon and drag it in. We want to keep the existing settings. And this is how so now we want to sort of play around with the position of the video, and this is what we do. We come up into effects controls, make sure we have the video selected. Now the scale of the video is how much sort of you zoomed in. You can sort of crop as much of the video as you want there. And then the X and Y axis here. You can just simply drag across the number to get it to where you want. And obviously down here, we'll go through all these things in another video, but basically that's sort of all you need to do. You just start building the basic foundation of your video down here in your sequence by chopping. And if you wanted to add both the video and the audio, you just drag from the video itself. Just drag the whole lot in. That will give you the audio file down here as well to play with. So basically that'll get you started on setting up your sequence and building the bed of your video. And in future videos we'll look at stuff like effects, color grading, and all the other fun stuff to really spruce up your video. New video comes out. I hope you got something out of today. If there's any questions or ideas for future videos, just leave them in the comments below. And yeah, have a good time.